Now, for more on the Olympics, let's go to Andrew Billings. He's the Executive Director of the Alabama Program on Sports Communication at the University of Alabama. Thanks very much for your time there, Andrew. Now, how has the pandemic impacted the way the Olympics is covered by networks from around the world?
Well, it's impacted it in a couple of ways. Obviously, the more people you have in the stands, the more excitement you can relay on television to the audience. It's also just changed the logistics of everything from the announcers, many of whom are, calling the events from their home nation instead of there in Beijing as originally planned. And then there's the macro level element of the fact that they thought there'd be a year and a half between the Tokyo Games and Beijing, and that 18 months became 6 months because of the pandemic. So there's a little bit of Olympic fatigue to get over.
China has invested heavily in the technology of the Games. How has that impacted communications at the Games, but also about the Games?
The technological investment is impressive, and really every part of the infrastructure here is thus far coming across very well. You're seeing an increased ability to show the games in a way we've never seen it before, different ways of storytelling, and different camera angles, and all sorts of things that we never had before. So if you tune in for the games, you're likely to see the games in a way that you never have before.
And China has proudly talked about how it has invested a lot in making this very much a green Olympics. What do you think that means for the greater public, the global public, and is it setting a precedent for the Games in the future?
It's difficult to define. Everyone defines green differently to some degree. And so really for the Olympic movement moving forward, I think where most people would want to see is more investment in permanent structures rather than temporary structures, as we saw in places like Rio. Certainly wanting to have a lower footprint overall, and trying to really use this as a way to invest in parts of the world and make it so this isn't simply an investment for a couple weeks for one period of time, but really to have long-term sustainability.